Fine. So all have joined. So let me start. The second one, that's called as a making of a scientist. Anjan, Bedika, and okay. And okay, Pali also joined.
Hello.
Yes, dear Hitesh, tell me.
The voice is not audible, sir. Hello.
My voice is not audible. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yes. So now you're audible.
Okay, my voice is audible. Okay, Srijay joined now. Srijay, are you there? Srijay? Sorry, actually, I forgot your, means, means I didn't find out your name. So I started at 9 o'clock. I started with Sneha first, then after Hitesh, then after all came. Okay. So we are going to discuss the topic called as a making of a scientist. We have just discussed the proposal, and now we are going to discuss making of a scientist. Srija, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. So what happened? Were you sleeping?
No, sir. Means my mother and father, they went to the village and I was alone in the home. And the
You are
phone was
alone?
with them. Yes, and now they came at 9 o'clock or 9:10. They came.
Okay. So we are just going to discuss the topic called as a making of a scientist. So I'm going to share it. Making of scientist. It's a very interesting topic, though, but a little bit hard also. But please do carefully listen to it. Is it visible, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me point out that story making of a scientist is all about what? Now, all about someone's passion, someone's interest, and someone's dream, which is, helped by means his single parent. His single parent. So if you talk about the making of a scientist, it's indicating about that how someone's passion, desire for a particular activity leads to a successful career in his life. Now we are talking about Richard E. Bright, right? So we are talking about who? Richard E. Bright. Who is he? Now, Richard E. Bright is a scientist who has received the Sully Scholar Award and the Scaring-Plough Award for biochemistry and molecular biology. So if you are talking about Scaring-Plough Award for biochemistry and molecular biology, it means you are talking about two different subjects, right? And award for that two different subjects. So one is called as a biochemistry and the other one is called as a biology. And if you see that how Richard E. Bright got into these 2 hours, right? That clearly indicating his passion, attraction, fascination, interest for butterflies. Now, you must have a kind of a thought like how someone's interest for butterflies lead him to the kind of such a famous and fruitful career in science, and as well as got such kind of award called as a Sully Scholar and also Scaring-Plough Award, right? So you need to just remember a couple of words. Here it is called as a 2 of the awards name, right? And some of the what do you say, that some of the technical words like biochemistry, biology, then after moth, and also viceroy, right? So what is that? Viceroy, no? So such words you have to means learn. If you want to understand the story, and if you write the story also, so those of the technical words needed to be implemented in those of the writing. So if you talk about this particular story, it is nothing but a excerpt, means part of the writer's life. So the writer discusses that how his childhood days started. He pointed that it was his interest for butterflies that opened the world of science to him. Now, it is something called as a kind of a hobby or activities. So that led him for the means a successful career. Now, it is also starting with a kind of a question like a book is also one of the region. A book is one of the region which is actually given by his mother, and how that book became a turning point in Richard E. Bright's life. And how did his mother help him? So his mother means who is called as a single parent after after his father's death. So you can say that the story begins at the age of 22, means uh, at the age of 22. Understand that it means we are talking about means the present moment. A former scout of the year. So he was called given a kind of a reward called as a scout of the year. So who was excited the scientific world with a new theory. So on how cells work. It means we were talking about Richard H. E. Bright, who started or who got particular fame, right? And his age was somehow called as a 22 at that time. And he was excited with the scientific world with a new theory which he discovered with his friend, right? And the theory is called as a how cells work, right? So we were talking about Richard H. E. Bright and his college roommate. College roommate explained the theory in an article. So how they explained the theory in an article, and what was that means article name? The article in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. So here two of the people, Richard H. E. Bright and his college roommate, explained the theory in an article in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. It means there is an article which was published in the book or called as a magazine called as a Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. There the article was published, and the articles on what? Now how cells work, right? So the author stated that how it was the first time this important scientific journal, it was the first time that this important scientific journal had ever published the work of college students in sports that would be like making the big leagues at the age of 15 and hitting a home run your first time at bat. So for Richard E. Bright, it was the first in a long stretch of achievement in science and other fields. And it all started with butterflies. Now, if you look into so far, what do you draw? Now you will draw that the idea is stated means he came to this position. So he came to this position that's called as a 22 age and published a new journal in the magazine called the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. First time, it did not happen before also in the with a college student, that a college student who published means one of the scientific journal, right? So he has been compared with what? Now compared with a new batsman or new means new baseball player. So who at the age of 15 came to the came to the ground, hit 100 and make an achievement. So similar to that means here you are talking about Richard H. E. Bright, who have also got the achievements in science and other fields. So How did it all start? It all started with the butterflies. That is what it is pointed. So it means the first and second paragraph indicated about the present achievement of whom? Present achievement of Richard H. E. Bright. And that leads to the idea that how did he get this achievement? Now, because of the the research, or because of the hobby that he acquired, is called as a butterflies. So what kind of a hobby? Butterflies, collecting butterflies. Like we collect coins, we collect, you can say that, rocks, fossil foils. So similar to that, his hobby is something called as a collecting butterflies. So it is also pointed that he was an only child. Bright grew up north of Reading. So when we are talking about Bright grew up north of Reading, Reading is called as a place, right? Pennsylvania, right? North of Reading means north side. Reading is a place. Pennsylvania, so in which the Reading place is located, right? So, and Bright grew up there. So he was living in a north side of Reading. So there was not much he could do there. So it was such a place where he did not get the opportunity of exposing himself. So that's why he's appointed. He could do anything there. There was not much he could do there. He said he certainly could not play football or baseball with a team of one. So he certainly could not play football or baseball with a team of one. Means, sometimes what happened means we can do the things alone better than we do the things in a team. So that's what you will find out in Richard H. E. Bright's case, that he could not play either football or baseball in a team of one, means playing in a team. He could not play. So maybe like what, having a problem of understanding, or called as a conflict with the other teammates. So that is why he could not play. But there was one thing he was doing, that's called as a collecting things. So collecting things means what? Now collecting, like I told you, means it's a kind of a hobby for him. So he did, and did he ever, beginning in kindergarten, Bright collected butterflies with the same interest that has marked all his activities. He also collected rocks, fossil foils, coins. He became an eager astronomer too, sometimes stargazing all night. So these are the kind of hobbies which he acquired in his childhood age, right? So, and that's why means he reached to a kind of a position. So if you see that, means the author pointed that he had carried that interest along with his bright mind. So obviously, keeping the kind of a hobby alone will not help you to get a success in the career. You must have also intellect for that. Intellect means knowledge for that, good mind for that. So you would find out Richard H. E. Bright may be carrying with the kind of interest and the bright mind, but at the same time, his mother who helped him, who encouraged him, so to carry that interest in learning, so studying. She took him on trips, so wherever he goes, means his mother took him into different journey, brought him things like a telescope, microscope, cameras, even mounting materials, right? And other equipment which actually helped him in many other ways. So the writer also stated that it was his only companion, she was his only companion until means he started schools. Means before that, he was not having any friends, right? That's what we can assume. His mother also said that how she would bring home friends for her son. But at night, so they spent together that time. So Richard H. E. Bright, whose name, pen name is called as a Richie, was the only was the whole life of his mother after his father's death. When Richie was in third grade, she and her son spent almost every evening at the dining room table. And if he did not have things to do, so she found work for him. So as a mother, so she played a major role. Like what? Means she spent time with her son. She gave whatever her son wanted, right? So whether that may be called as a equipments, or called as a taking him to trips, or called as a feeling bored, then his mother used to bring work for him, not physical work but learning things. So by getting those of the things, she learned something. His mother said that he liked it, and Richie or Richard H. Ebright liked those of the things. He wanted to learn them, and learn he did. He also uh, read those of the books. He earned top grades in school. On everyday thing, he was just like every other kid. Who means you talk about Richard H. Bright. So he was not like only concentrating on hobbies or called as games. He also do well in the studies, and like every other kid, he was also means good in the studies and also behaving normal. By the time he was in the second grade, Ebright had collected all 25 species of butterflies found around his hometown. So you would draw the idea what? The idea you would draw that it's a childhood hobby which he continued as a passion, and his mother helped him to carry forward, right? Carry forward that. I think we will end here. Uh, I'll continue this discussion tomorrow, if you say so. What do you say, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I'll just let me complete this page, and after that. So we understood that his mother gave him. His mother gave him means the kind of interest, right? And when that interest or hobby was somehow called as an end. So Ebright had collected all 25 species of butterflies found around his hometown. So after that, what happened? Now that probably would have been the end of his butterfly collecting. So he said that as far as his viewpoint, he pointed that what? It was the end of his butterfly collecting. Why? Now because that is what the that is what the ending of the collection. So no more collection he has to, right? So but then his mother got him a children's book called The Travels of Monarch X. So that's called as a means one side he was going to end his interest for collecting butterflies as he had finished the um, he had finished the collection. So the other side, his mother gave him the book, and the book name is called as The Travel of Monarch X. And that book actually gave the kind of a, open door for success. How? Now, because that book is giving the information about further information about butterflies, that how monarch butterflies migrate to Central America, and opened the world of science to the eager young collector. So we would discuss rest of the things in the next class, right? So I think tomorrow evening 9 o'clock I'll meet you all again. So please be there. What do you say? Tomorrow 9 o'clock, will you all be
Yes,
joined?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Soumya, understood your chapter, the proposal?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we will continue this making of scientists tomorrow. Tomorrow 9 o'clock. Don't worry, till 27, right? I'll take your class every day evening 9 o'clock, right? And after that, we will go for the SST also. Those who have, they will join. So, but please inform me if you cannot join, then please inform me so that uh, I'll not actually block others' class because of you. So please do tell me for that beforehand. That's all for the day. Thank you for your patience and joining the class. Bye-bye. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye all.
Thank you, sir.
Mhm.